Alright, a new day, new spot. Still in the Smoky Mountain National Park. Um, Today I'm going to be mainly searching around the branches of this creek. I'm not going to name the creek yet. Once I'm done looking, I'll release all my information. And then you can do what you want with it. Because I don't know if I'll be back. If it's still not found next season, then maybe I'll take another stab at it. But today's hike's pretty short, not very strenuous. The one I've been hiking is pretty rough. I mean, it's like almost 2 miles straight uphill. Can't remember the elevation gain. This isn't much elevation gain, but there is some. But I do think it's constant most of the way. So yeah, today we'll be searching around creeks. There's the main reason I'm looking here is due to the fact that all the branches coming off this creek look like the tree in the well, they don't look like it, but they resemble it, the way the branches come off the main creek branch, or the main creek. So hopefully my Spider-Man will spot something and we'll walk out of here with a damn box, finally. I think this is probably close to 10 days I've been searching in different areas altogether. Persistence. Keep on keeping on. Not sure what that is, but there's a clue for where I'm at, for those that know. Weather doesn't look too bad. There is a slight drizzle, so hopefully it didn't get any worse, because I didn't bring my slicker suit with me, my rain suit. Must have been like some kind of encampment here at one point, because there's an old chimney right there. Okay, and some mud. Another thing about this spot, not only do the branches of the creek coming off feeding into this main creek kind of resemble the tree. If you look at the magnifying glass, there's actually like a reflection of the tree indicating some kind of water. But another thing about it is, one, it somewhat resembles a coin, but that's kind of a stretch. But I'll show you what I mean at some point. But two, he said he had to avoid people. And this trail really only has one way in and a small parking lot. So he would know as soon as he got here whether or not there was someone hiking this trail. There is another way in, but typically no one's going to hike down this path from the other direction, because otherwise they have to hike all the way back up to get back out, and it's a long hike to get out from here and in the other direction. I know because I've hiked some of it. Last time I was here, this trail was closed all the way. They're closed down because of bears. And here's a cool spot. First little bridge, and another clue as to where I'm at. So yeah, long way in and out coming from the other direction. But like I said, he would be able to know if there's someone on this trail before he ever left out. If he left out early before anybody and booked it, he would have plenty of time to hide the box. And I'm hoping that the exact spot that the map brought me to along the AT is really just kind of referencing an area. And the magnifying glass means, hey, look closely at the map and see if you can find something that matches this. So we'll see. This area also fits in well with the whole having to tether it to something because of all the creeks. Not a whole lot of evidence of it getting super high, because this is necessarily, I mean, this is essentially the start of all the river water as it accumulates. So nothing's really going to get too high here. It's all going to build up at the lower elevations, and this way you see the flooding around Gatlinburg and all those places like that, because everything just floods back down to there. So last time I was here, this trail was shut down for bear activity, and they finally opened back up like not long after I left. So I went ahead and added a few upgrades to my Jeep and then came back. About a 14-hour drive from where I was coming from in Houston, but hopefully it'll be worth it. Anyway, time to search. I don't think we're too far from the first branch. Another thing about this trail, if you listen, you'll hear a trailer song. The whole trail follows a river or creek. Not really sure what the difference is between the two. I know the river's typically bigger, but I've also seen rivers that are smaller than this creek in some areas. So, but yeah, that's another aspect of it. This whole trail follows the creek, and you hear that crashing sound the entire way, which was always one of my favorite places to hike, is along the rivers, because it's just, you have that constant sound. I don't know why, I like the sound of it. Water's pretty impressive in what it can do. I mean, they literally carved all these caverns and stuff like that around here. Carved the Grand Canyon. That's insane when you think about it. Another thing I just noticed is this kind of fits the terrain a little bit more. A lot of these areas, you can't really see it in the camera too much, but that's all rocks. Huge rocks, boulders, with all kinds of cracks and crevices and stuff in there. I don't have any on this side right now. I just passed some though. There's some. But that's kind of the terrain I expect it to be in. Not just laying out in the woods somewhere, but underneath something tucked away. So it's a good start. Footbridge number 2, going over the main creek. Still no branches yet, about half a mile in. Definitely a cool hike so far. Only seen one person actually hiking. There was a couple sitting out, hanging out by the entrance where the main bridge is. But it's just been me and so far one other person. Hopefully it stays that way. Alright, so we're at the first branch that I'm able to search without actually crossing the river. Not so sure it's going to be in this one, but we're going to look anyway. Alright, I'm up a little ways off the trail, looking around. Rockier here than a lot of the areas I've been looking. So this area is actually kind of promising in my opinion. For some reason I just feel like that's going to be the type of area it's in. Maybe it's anchored to something like I was saying. And this is, I don't know how far off he expects us to go looking, but I'm gonna go as far as I feel comfortable with, what I consider to be not too far. He says people won't get lost, but that's kind of relative to the person exploring. Because with modern day technology, it's pretty hard to get lost, but some people don't know how to use it. And also, this area is known for bears. They get literally just opened back up. So hopefully I don't have any encounters with one. Already I'm seeing little game trails and stuff, probably where they've been walking. Not necessarily just bears, but all the critters, you know. And here comes the rain. I hear the pitter patter on the leaves. I'm gonna be getting wet here soon. Hopefully it doesn't last too long though. I'm still on my first little branch I'm searching. The benefit is it's not too hard of a hike to get here, so I can spend a good fair amount of time on each branch and just come back to this space whenever I'm ready to search some more. I don't know how long I'll be in the area. I really don't have anywhere to be for a little while. So, wish me luck on the rain. I don't want to get soaking wet. Alright, I've come up a good little ways. The trail is down there some ways. Most of the rocky terrain is ended. So, I'm starting making my way down. It's just bushes and trees from here on up. Starting making my way down, and I would check the other side of the branch, but it's pretty much just overgrown grass. So I don't know about over there. Maybe on another trip, because I'm sure this won't be the only time I come. Especially if this rain doesn't let go. I'm going to probably hike out and just call it a day. Come back tomorrow or some other day when it's not raining. Go post up at a campsite and chill. Alright. So I've scoured the first area pretty well. Not saying I couldn't do better. The rain did subside for now, so we'll see. But pretty much looked all in that area, from there to there, all the way up the creek branch. Now I'm kind of starting to make my way back down to the main trail, just looking as I go, trying to follow this creek bed, which I'm not really sure which way it goes from here. It looks like it goes down this way. I did climb up here to look and see, because it seemed like this might be a good spot to hide it. Kind of out the way, you don't have to worry about it flooding, and nobody's just going to stumble across it unless they're actually looking for it. Anyway, gonna make my way down. Maybe I'll see something along the way. I see a few more areas that look like it might could be. So, upon further investigation and looking at my map, I realized I didn't even follow the actual creek bed up. I just kind of climbed the side and found another old creek bed that doesn't even look like there's water running through it anymore. So now I gotta find this creek, this branch, and actually try and follow it up and see where it goes. So now, I haven't even finished my search. I haven't even really started my search in this area yet. Now I gotta climb back. Not too bad. And I don't know what these little plants are, but Jesus Christ are they mean. They sting for like a good 15 to 20 minutes. They go through your pants, they sting your arms, and they just itch and sting. Mean ass little plants. Does anybody know what these markers are? There's like a number on one side on the tag, and then like, I don't know, that's like an RFID device, or what that is. Never seen them before out here. And there's another one. It's got like a little spring on the back side of it. Nope, I didn't find it up there. But now I'm back on the trail. The third footbridge. I kind of like these bridges. I like walking over it. Very peaceful. Good place to eat a lunch. Alright, here's another branch. It's pretty steep terrain, but I might just climb up and look around that ledge. If I can get up higher, I will. But I don't think it's going to be on this one. Way too overgrown, but we'll see. I don't know about climbing up here. That looks like a landslide waiting to happen. I don't want it to happen with me on top of it. And it's pretty dense up there and steep. So that's 2 branches down. So far, no luck. But anything past that ledge is super steep. I mean, I guess I could continue to walk that ledge, but not so sure it's going to be just sitting up there. On to the next one. Maybe I'll walk that ledge on the way back. So that's the next branch. Pretty overgrown. Don't see it being up there. And it's pretty steep too. I'll walk up a little ways and get a gander, but I'm already itching from the last one. They got more of these mean ass little plants. And here are the big ones. They take about 15 minutes for them to die out and stop itching. But they're all up and down this creek. They seem to love water. Not sure why they're so angry, but they are. Alright. I think this is the 4th branch that I looked. This one was actually kind of just followed this creek bed all the way up. It ends right here. I don't know if that's an underground spring or if it's just bleeding in from somewhere else over here. But it's actually kind of a pretty spot. Definitely would have been a good place to hide at, JCB. I don't know why you don't have it here. Or maybe I'm just overlooking it. Hopefully in the near future you'll release some more information and get a few more details on the possible locations. I know he wants one to be found because he wants the hunt to be validated. Right now there's so many naysayers out there saying it's not real, it's not true. And for all we know, they're right. I don't think so, obviously. I'm out here just... He said no bushwhacking, but I don't really consider this to be bushwhacking. I'm just kind of walking through the bushes. My biggest concerns with this hunt, though, is that someone's going to find a solution, such as like the coin matches a trail or something like that, and then they won't release the information that they found the box, and then for all we know the AT box has already been found, and the other person is one by one scooping up the other boxes because he found some kind of information that applies to all the solves, all the boxes. Because I mean, I'd be hesitant if I found out that the coin actually puts you at a pretty good location and matches and applies to all the other boxes, then I don't know if I'd release the information that I found it either. Because you have a huge one-up on everybody looking. Because it eliminates so many areas if you can make that coin match. I would hope that he wouldn't do something like that, and he would have some kind of foresight that would prevent him from doing that, but I mean, we really don't know. Each coin is commemorative to each box, so we'll see. I'm hoping that it's more a clue for finding the lion's share than applying it to these boxes. Well, I guess we'll find out in time, though. This is the creek I just followed up. You can follow it all the way out. I went all the way up into there, looked up in there, didn't see anything. Now I'm gonna make my way out, keep an eye open. And there's footbridge number 4. I think I'm gonna skip this one and just go this route. Maybe I'll make it without getting wet. That's the sketchy part. There's nothing on there. For grip. Oh, I made it. Wow. Not a drop. Who needs a bridge? So that was actually the last branch that you can cross, that you can search without crossing this main river. So I'm probably going to start heading out. I've actually already searched upstream a little bit before. I don't think I'm done searching this area, but I'm done for the day. I'm gonna go back to camp and just chill. But now I'm gonna sit here, eat my lunch on the river. Best place to have lunch, right on the river. Alright, so no box today. It was an easy hike though. Really, not really sure where to go next. I mean, I got a few places that I'd like to look, but they don't. It's just like, what if? You know what I mean? It's not like this is where it's at. The only place that I've been that is like this is where it's at is along the Appalachian Trail itself. And I've searched that area pretty well. Doesn't mean I didn't miss it, or that I'm not going further enough or far enough. But it's also a pretty strenuous hike in. Granted, it's only about 3 miles, but it's mostly uphill. But it is also near some very pretty places, which is another reason why I think it might be in that location. Because I don't think he put it at the pretty places. I think he put it near some places that are notable. So, whether I go out tomorrow looking is up for debate. I guess maybe depending on what time I wake up, or what the weather's like, or just how I feel in general. I may go back out there and look again some more, and try going maybe further down, off the trail. Because I know they say to grid search, but it's kind of hard to grid search in the Smokies, because there's a lot of areas that are clear, and then all of a sudden they'll just be completely overgrown. And just most likely not where it's at. And I still have my theory where it's a combination because it's tethered to something. So those areas don't really justify being tethered to anything, unless it's along the creek branches in that area, which I have searched some of that area. I haven't searched all the creek branches. But unless he just did it to keep the curious bears away, because bears are known for grabbing stuff and running off with them. So maybe that's why he did it, but I also feel like if a bear wants to take a pelican box or whatever he's got it in, then the bear's going to take the box. Unless it's in an ammo can, which is an option too. They're pretty stout and the bear's not going to get into that. But I do believe that the reason it's a combination lock is because it's tethered to something. Whether he tethered it into a tree to keep it away from water, or he tethered it to a heavy rock to keep it from floating away, or it's on a hillside and he's got it tethered so that it doesn't wash down the hillside. Whatever, it's tethered to something, and that's why it's a combination lock.